Hello there, welcome back to Blue Harvest Vintage Toys. I've got something a little different for today's video. You know I like to mix things up on this channel. So today I want to talk about those Black Series figures of the characters we are never going to get. Whether it's for licensing purposes, figures Hasbro don't deem important enough, or for other reasons that we will go into later. So at number 10, we have Sebastian Shaw, Old Anakin. Yes, we got Old Anakin on the original vintage line, and a few times after that, but ever since Hayden Christensen replaced Sebastian Shaw at the end of the Return of the Jedi as the Anakin ghost, and he's kind of the forgotten man now, but that's the way George wants it, and until they release the original cuts of the film, we will never see this character again. At number 9, we have Bob Hudson. Who, you're probably thinking? Played by Bob Holden. He was actually one of the rebel officers on Yavin 4. The one with the big moustache. It's kind of a blink and miss him character. But the reason we will never get this figure is because he didn't actually want a figure made of him, which is a real shame. He's not an essential character, but as you know, every background character gets a name, and it would have been nice to populate your Yavin dioramas with Bob. At number 8, we have Imperial Officer Prady. Even though we seem to be getting a slew of Imperial officers lately, and some of the Imperial officers did have a lot of lines, they are still classed as background characters, and as so-called background characters, they didn't sign off on likeness rights. So if Hasbro wanted to make those figures now, they'd have to go and get those rights. But I can't see Hasbro doing that, can you? So that leads on to number 7, and the Rebels. And at the risk of repeating myself, this is kind of for the same reason, and even though they all got names, their likenesses can't be made. Even the famous ones like Jamiro, who was played by Cheers actor George Wendt. Hasbro did in fact get round this by producing a Hoth Rebel Trooper that had 2 generic faces that you could swap out. But as for getting a Cliff figure, no chance. At number 6 we have Asojans. And this is going to be the biggest Easter egg of all time. Now you know your Star Wars aliens, right? So what's an Asojan? I'll give you a clue. They were in the Phantom Menace, in the Senate, and they are these guys. Yes, E.T. Now this was basically an inside joke between George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. They often put the other characters in their movies, and this was just a continuation of that. But the one big fact that we know we will never get an E.T. made by Hasbro is because E.T. is owned by Universal. So if the Asojans are in the Star Wars universe, does that mean E.T. is a Jedi? Number 5, we have Borsch. Like all the Mos Eisley unmasked humans, they again were background characters who never signed a contract for their likenesses. Borsch did get a background story, as did some of the other ones, like the Prophetess or the Beggar, but Hasbro probably feel that nobody will want them anyway. At number 4 we have Fake Wedge. Before Dennis Lawson came on board, another actor performed all his lines, and then Dennis Lawson came on and dubbed over his voice. And even though the original actor can be found at conventions, Hasbro will probably never try and track him down and get him to sign a likeness deal, because again, they probably think nobody's bothered, but again, they don't even do any of the other pilots anyway. Where's Biggs? Where's Parkins? I would love a Parkins figure. Number 3, Angmina. What a fantastic character played by B. Arthur, and what a great figure that would be to have in your cantina. But unfortunately, as it was in the holiday special, which George Lucas once destroyed, and most of the Star Wars community disavow that it actually ever existed. There is not a chance that Hasbro will make a figure. So at number 2, we have the Toto Sisters, and this is probably the most interesting story of licensing, because one of the actresses that played a Toto Sister actually asked for royalties when a Galoob figure was made of her. So instead of paying out, they actually cancelled the figure, and no figures will be ever made of the Toto Sisters simply because they don't want to pay. So at number 1, we have the most controversial character in whole of Star Wars. It's Princess Leia in Jabba's palace dancing outfit, whatever you want to call it. It's certainly not PC to call it the S word, which is totally understandable. So why don't they just call it something else? This is one I don't really understand myself. If it's to do with the skimpy outfit, this was based on pre-existing outfits from history, from movies, and she's supposed to be a dancing girl, so has nobody at Hasbro seen a Turkish belly dancer, or the Orion dancing girls from Star Trek? I am a Leia focus collector, and for me, Carrie Fisher looked at her best in this outfit. And what a way to celebrate her life and pay tribute to this wonderful actress. So come on, Hasbro. If you've any thoughts on that top 10, or you've got anything to add to it, let me know in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you, and I always reply to every comment. So thank you for watching. Please check out all my other content, and if you like that enough, please subscribe. So until the next video, may the toys be with you.